And we're back. You're watching Sports Federation TV. I'm Lenyukta Chetty. Joining me now from the exciting world of deep sea angling is Chris Pike and Nishaad Ibrahim. Welcome back. And thank you for coming once again on Sports Federation TV. Nishaad, the last time you were here, they had just announced that you would be part of the Protea squad, and you're back from a world event.
Yes, we fished a tournament in Portugal in a town called Albufeira, and it was really exciting. The teams were awesome, really amazing place. It was tough going because we were unfortunately saddled with two broken boats on day one and day two. So we put a bit on the back foot. But as a whole, the tournament was very well organized from a team point of view, but very poorly organized from a boat point of view. So we 5 boats broke on day one, 6 boats broke on day two. So we had a fair share of, problems, but we did the best under the circumstances, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, as a layperson, did you complete the event? Is that the point, to complete the event?
The tournament is run on a sort of like a day one and day two and day three. So you get like a test day. Each day is designed for you to win it. So the teams are set so that the team with the least points wins the tournament. Yeah. So it's 5 species. Each species has a points attached to it. On day one, the team with the most points is marked as the first team and second team, and it's based on the sliding scale.
Okay, yeah. Chris, what is your involvement with the sport?
So yeah, I've been fishing for approximately 16 years, especially for tuna, and that's what we're involved in, is offshore tuna fishing mainly. And I fished with Nish now in the SADSA team, which is like your South African Deep Sea Angling Association, for the last 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we've fished provincially as well together. So yes, that's my involvement with the sport, sort of.
Were you also part of the squad that went to Portugal?
Unfortunately not. Yeah, I didn't nominate for this one. I still have to get another facet on my portfolio of bill fishing, a fish and national event, which we'll be completing at the end of November this year. So then I'll stand a chance.
Okay, so for the benefit of the viewers at home who aren't as familiar with deep sea angling as I am, would you give us a rundown of the different types of activities in the sport itself?
So, well, it starts off very early mornings. You wake up, you got to get all your gear together, you get onto the boat. You got to make sure you've got enough bait, food, fuel, and your tackle has got to be up to scratch. There's 0 tolerance with those fish. We're catching big fish on very light line. So, yeah, it's quite technical. You go out to sea, it takes about 2 hours to get to the grounds where we fish. And yes, then we start searching for these elusive tuna. Once we find them, everyone on the boat has a job to do: cutting bait, getting chum ready, setting lines, trolling lines, baiting lines, and then we wait and see. And then when the fish come around, everyone else has a job here. Usually Nish hooks up first. He's got that luck. And then he'll fight his fish, sometimes anywhere from half an hour to 5 hours. I think I fought a fish the other day. It was horrible.
One fish?
One fish.
Wow.
And it wasn't a very big one either. He was just new. He had just arrived from somewhere.
Yeah. So what is the average weight of a tuna?
What did you say?
The yellowfin species, there's different species of tuna. So prolifically in our waters, we've got the yellowfin species, and now the bluefin has seemed to have come. But the average weight of a yellowfin would be about 65.
Wow.
60, maybe 60 to 65 kilos. In the last years, the fish have gone bigger. So yeah, lesser but bigger.
And longfin as well. There's another species which we also target. They're about 10 to 15 kilos.
So to put this in perspective, you're saying it can take an entire crew of fishermen to catch one of these?
We're saying that when we fish competition on light tackle, when the angler hooks a fish, if there's no other fish around, because you can have 3 guys fighting different fish at the same time, on light tackle, on a big fish, it'll average anything from 3 to 5 hours per angler. So the other anglers are not allowed to touch the rod. It'll be disqualified. So from the time you hook the fish till the time it's boated, it's the same person, same angler.
Okay. Nobody touch my rod, kind of, kind of thing.
Yeah,
okay. So tuna is one of the game fish. What are the other species that's popular in the sport?
Well, we've got a range of inshore species. If we're talking just about fishing, yellowtail, snook, what do you call it, katonkel, and skipjack tuna. There's also a marlin fishery now in Cape Town, which has just been, I wouldn't say discovered, just more people are fishing for it. That's going to be huge in a couple of years' time, once more and more people start targeting it. And then you've got a inshore bottom fish that we catch. The guys target the reefs, catching red Roman, cob, and white stump, red stump.
All right.
So there's a huge facet of fishing in Cape Town, and we've got one of the best yellowfin fisheries in the world. So that's why people come from all over the world to target these fish. And Chris is very involved in the fishing because he's got his own business, and he sells fishing tackle from tuckers, and so there's massive facets of fishing. You've got bottom fishing and game fishing, so it's prolific all around, I guess.
Well, it's such a big spotlight on conservation efforts now with regard to fish. How does your federation partner with these conservation bodies to, protect the interests of the numbers of the fish?
Well, there's a tag and release program for inshore fishing now that has been out for the last 5 years. So the fish are weighed and some of them are released. So how conservation works is that you score more points on release of fish. So with the Billfish Nationals, which myself, Chris and Maurice is going to fish in St. Warner on the 19th to the 25th of November, all fish is released. We release all fish. And the tournament in Portugal, we had to use barbless hooks. Every fish is released. They're trying to make that tournament an Olympic sport. So it's going to that level eventually, I guess.
I think in general as well, the fishing community as a whole has become more aware of fish stocks and how they've been depleted. So a lot more anglers are becoming conscious of releasing fish and protecting our future, which is quite nice to see. It's really good.
Sustainable fishing.
Fishing.
Well, this is not typically a spectator sport, right? Unless you're lucky enough to catch a live event, if any, on television. So what kind of people are usually drawn to it?
People that are passionate about deep sea, passionate about boats, passionate about the ocean, and generally the people always looking for new ways of finding exciting stuff. And all you need is to take a friend or a family member out there, and they get hooked on it, and then it's done and dusted.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just back from the World Champ. So what other events would the South African squad have to look forward to in the near future?
For every Protea tournament, there's a nomination process, which anglers put in a nomination if they're good in that facet, because there's 4 or 5 Protea tournaments throughout the world, marlin and tuna, game fish.
And the Portugal event was marlin, hey?
The Portugal was 5 species. It was marlin, tuna, and dorado. Those were the target species.
Okay.
And so if you feel as an angler and you're at that level where you feel you can do well in that facet of nominating for Protea for that tournament, then you put in your nomination and the selectors, national selectors will choose you.
All right. Yeah. Okay. And where can people get more information about the federation or how to join the sport?
SATSA is our federation, South African Deep Sea Angling Association, and there's a website they can go to. www.satsa.
But if they also want to get involved locally, any boat club who's associated to Western Province Deep Sea Angling Association, I think there's 4 or 5 around the peninsula, and there's a great bunch of guys there, and specifically juniors. We're looking for a lot more juniors. Don't know what's happened, but recently the juniors have taken a little bit of a dive. So if you're out there, please come and find us.
I think like table tennis, who we've just interviewed, it probably is also kind of a generational sport. Hey, you might inherit it from your parents or family
Definitely.
members.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it an expensive sport to participate in, Chris?
Yes, it can be. I was very fortunate with the people I fished with. I was passionate and I followed them around everywhere, and eventually got so sick of me they were like, okay, come along. And that's pretty much how it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of development, like you said, there's a need to get more youngsters involved in the sport. What are the platforms that they could possibly use to get involved if they don't have their own boat and rods, etc.? Is there anything like that available?
There's a development program that the clubs have. So a junior that wants to come along can join any club or get information, come to the club and participate in the junior level, and somebody will definitely take him or her under their wing.
Yeah.
Because we're passionate about, getting more juniors involved, and so.
Yeah, because definitely that's the future.
That's
of
the
our sport.
future of our sport.
Yeah.
So we're happy to, anybody that's keen and wants to come along, we gladly would. Chris belongs to the Hout Bay Boat Angling Club. I belong to Gordons Bay. So we're there to do this for them. Yeah.
All right, excellent. Well, Nishaad, to wrap up, what was the highlight of your experience, your first experience as a Protea squad member in Portugal?
I think singing the anthem for me was probably the wearing the green and gold and singing the anthem was an amazing feat for me. It was just tears to your eyes. Can't explain it until you're there. It's the passion of we still have a lot of passion for our country, and
No, absolutely. It's funny that you would say that. I was also at a national tournament recently, and a lot of the players remarked that that's their favorite moment in a tournament is when we sing the national anthem.
Anthem is just unbelievable. It's so it consumes you from a level you can't explain. Happiness with tears and excitement.
It's pure joy.
It's pure joy. Yeah.
Pure joy. Yeah. Well done to you, and thank you for representing our country in your exciting sport. We look forward to you coming back and sharing more exciting news from deep sea angling.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. Well, that's it from Deep Sea Angling. After the break, we'll be taking a look at women and girls in sport, so please stay tuned for that. Oh, but actually, before we cut to a break, it's time for the Bashes competition. Remember to win your case of assorted Bashes drinks. All you need to do is SMS Bashes to 33090. That's Bashes to 33090. And congratulations to last week's winner, Jaswin Juries. Jaswin, you can expect your case of assorted Bashes drinks, Cape Town's favorite cool drink, in the mail very soon. Once again, after the break, we'll be back with women and girls in sport. Please stay tuned for that.